You're listening to KCPR the Rec, your place to recreate, with your host, Caitlin, Jonathan, and Joe.
Hey there, and welcome to KCPR the Rec. Today's podcast, we will discuss the XFL and how they are trying to make the sport safe. Jeremy Shepard is here to give us a word from our director. We'll take a look at some upcoming recreational programs with what's on deck for Parks and Rec, and of course, give you a national day for today.
Today's National Day.
All right, today is National Johnny Appleseed Day. So today we celebrate the legend of a man who lived by sage teachings and labored to bring a shade of fruit trees across much of the United States. Did you know that John Chapman, quotations, Johnny Appleseed, end quotations, is credited for planting apple and pear orchards from Massachusetts to West Virginia, as far west as Indiana, Illinois, and as far north as Michigan and Wisconsin?
So, Joe,
I
since
liked
you know
your
all
air
these
quotes,
facts, how did Delaware get apple trees then?
There's this thing called the internet. You can check it and see if that's how we did or not.
JoeKnows.com.
Yeah, sure. It's Ask Joe.
Ask Joe instead of
I bought Ask Jeeves and just made Ask
changed
Joe
it.
instead. So, but yeah, so so you can celebrate the legend of Johnny Appleseed by eating your favorite apple by using the hashtag Johnny Appleseed Day on social media.
Honeycrisp. If you haven't had a Honeycrisp, you are missing out.
Really, I like Gala.
I like Granny Smith,
Those are good
So
for
plain.
pies, yeah.
the sour. Wait, no, which one are the
You
green
like the
ones?
green ones?
What are the green ones?
Green ones are sour.
Which
I don't
one?
like
Which
green.
ones are
They're
those
Granny
called?
Smith.
They're
Granny
Granny
Smith.
Smith,
Yeah,
too.
they're great.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Nope.
You gotta
not
you gotta expand your horizons, Joe.
No, you just
Give Honeycrisp a taste, my man.
Pink Lady.
No.
She's pretty good.
She.
Pink Lady.
For those of you who don't know, our director, Mr. Jeremy Shepard, is actually Minnesotan. So we asked him to come in and give us a good Minnesotan word.
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
A word from our director.
He's from Minnesota, don't you know?
All right, Jeremy, what word do you have for us today?
Well, I've been coming up with these words here for a while now, and I feel like you guys are going to be getting closer and closer because, as you're probably well aware of, because YouTube fame goes in buckets everywhere. You know, the Charlie Barron's Manitowoc Minute. I don't know if you've watched that. So I'm actually stealing a lot of stuff off of his little thing and bringing them now to your table here. So I'm thinking you're going to get this one, but we'll see.
We will.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Man, all eyes are on me.
Yes.
The Minnesotan word of the day today is Davenport.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, Joe, I know where that is.
I know.
So say it.
No, I'm not gonna. No.
What? Isn't that what
The
we
last
usually
time
do?
Joe said that, it was
Should we
totally
raise
wrong.
No, we all
Raise
get.
hands?
We all
Okay,
get.
you raise your hand.
No, we all get a guess
Wait a
on what it
minute.
is.
Joe wants to raise his hand on a podcast.
Well, well, we know.
No,
we all,
it's Caitlin that
we
does
all
that.
we all know the.
Airbushing?
We go around the table saying
All right,
what our
go
answer is.
first.
A Davenport is like a cupboard or a dresser.
Am I supposed to say yes or no?
No,
Hey,
no,
you're
no,
supposed to
If I
let the
say
rest of us
yes,
guess.
Oh.
You all have to guess first.
Yeah.
Okay, say it again.
Davenport.
A little bit slower.
Davenport.
Airport. I don't know.
An airport.
I had to say something.
Interesting.
Boating port.
A boating port. Well, that would be more apt to Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes.
Yeah. I really don't know because normally this is something that comes back around to sport or recreational activity. I know that is like the mentality, but I saw your reaction when Joe said it's like a cupboard, and
Nobody else did.
I know, but I was watching, and so
Podcast,
I think
remember?
I know. It's gonna kill me, but I'm gonna either sync with Joe or we'll both win. I think it's like a cupboard of some sort.
So once again, you have all disappointed me.
I thought Davenport was on
Who
a
was
couch.
the closest?
So a Davenport, I was going to say this is more of a leisurely activity, and a Davenport is like a living room or a den couch.
Oh, so I was.
Damn.
Okay.
I was probably
Lay
the
out on the
closest then.
Davenport.
Oh, I thought okay. I
Have
thought
a seat on the
Davenport. Yeah, I thought, or like it's on the Davenport. I thought it was like, oh, it's like little cupboard thingy. Oh,
So there you go.
Yeah,
Well, Joe,
You're still not Minnesotan.
I liked your answer, Joe. I went with it.
I was closest. I did say couch eventually.
Into the rec room.
All right, so the XFL premiered again back in February 8th. For those of you who remember the failed first season of the XFL, it initially premiered back in 2001, and nearly 2 decades later, Vince McMahon has brought the XFL back for the love of football. And he's made a few changes this time. Here's a segment from the XFL website. It reads, "We're evolving things just a bit. Less stall, more ball is how we describe it. A fast-paced game with fewer play stoppages. We've made timing changes, common sense rule changes, and created 5 gameplay innovations that will raise the excitement level and minimize the downtime. We're staying true to the foundations of football. With input from our coaches, players, and fans, we've created a game that's totally familiar. 11 on 11, 100-yard football with a few twists." Joe, how do you see these rule changes? Do they increase the pace of the game?
I will say, since I have been watching the XFL on Saturdays and Sundays, just to kind of sit down and kind of watch it. I mean, football, NFL's
Yes.
done.
Yep.
You just want to, besides I'm watching hockey, but like, all right, let me watch some football on the weekend.
So you're trying to fill a football-shaped hole in your life.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like the best, but it's also really fun, and also the rule changes is great too. Like, it's interesting to see how because for the years now they've been talking about how dangerous like the kickoff is, and that's where most players get hurt, or half the time the kickoff just goes in the end zone, and it's just oh, it needs it down, or it's we're just starting at the 25-yard line or whatever. But
All right, so you've heard it here first. Joe Paw agrees rule changes increase the speed of the game.
well, yeah, because the XFL the offense and defense only start like maybe 10 yards apart from each other. They can't move until the receiving team catches the football, and then they all just start running at each other.
So do you think the rule changes do anything else for the game, Joe?
I think they make it safer.
Oh, yeah?
I think. At
What
least,
other rule changes are there?
Well, there is there's almost no kicking really at all, because for field goal, if you score a
Oh,
touchdown,
yeah.
there's no field goals. You'd either go for a 1-point, a 2-point, or a 3-point conversion.
So the kickers are even less relevant now.
Pretty much.
Aw.
You can still kick a field goal.
How much is a field goal?
You can look up in a book, Caitlin. How about that? It's 3 points as usual.
Well, we are talking about rule changes that Vince McMahon has made, so
Yeah. It's extreme.
there's the new conversions, right?
Yeah, it's a new conversion system. That way, there's no point after for the kick. You can also kick a field goal if you're unsuccessful on downs, but the rules kind of promote not punting and not kicking. They want you to go for it on 4th down most of the time. So
What kind of players play in this league?
athletic ones,
Okay.
ones
Past
that,
and present?
Ex-NFL players?
Oh, is that where they got
I
it
don't
from?
know. Maybe.
I don't know. If
a good idea.
It's some guys who have played who played the NFL, then don't make it, or got cut, and now they're playing for the XFL, trying to get back on an NFL team, or some guys who are trying to get
Keep them in shape in the off season?
No, they can't do
Oh.
that. Yeah, they can't. If you have an NFL contract, I don't believe you can play in the XFL because it's kind of voiding your contract.
Well,
the non-competition clause.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's really cool. Like you get to listen into the coaches, but before they make a call, or right as they're making calls, they have all the changes with their radios into the helmets of other players and stuff like that too, so they don't lose contact with them at all. They just pretty much talk to them while the play. I don't know. I think they lose contact as the play is going on, but they talk to them right as the play's about to start. So you can hear it on TV too, which is kind of cool.
mm-hmm.
You can hear what the plays are doing, and
Yeah.
and right after a play's done, it's a scoring one or a
Reporters
takeaway.
right
So
there.
the interview, the sideline reporter is right there getting your face like, you just fumbled the game away. How do you feel?
So Joe thinks that the rule changes have sped up the pace of the game. He thinks they're great for the fan, the spectator end of things, and he thinks that it's made the game a little bit safer. Caitlin, do we change our leagues at all? The way that we offer sports to youth, do we change things in some of our programs to help increase safety?
Yeah, Caitlin, do we?
Well, I know I do for some
really?
of my soccer that I have going on. Do you, Jonathan?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, Joseph?
Yes, for some of my sports, we do change
Which
the
one in
rules.
specific?
Well, go off of this. I changed the rules for our flag football. We do our rules a little bit differently,
Okay.
because we don't really allow, for interceptions. We do allow interceptions, but you don't really get anything from it. So the team intercepts it, they get a point for intercepting the ball because they can't run it back for a touchdown. So they intercept the ball, and it's a point. And also, we just kind of change the rules on the amount of plays and stuff like that, so that they can run.
Nice.
Yeah,
Jonathan?
I know you, in your boys rec league, you changed the fouling out rules, right?
Yeah, so on the fouling out rules, we have a running clock all the time. If a team only has 4 players, they can play 4v4, just to make to make it as easy as possible for the game, and also just to kind of keep it moving and keep it going, because no one wants to forfeit, or just kind of keep it as simple as possible, but also make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, in our summer high school league, we have changed the rules so that if you foul in the last couple minutes of the game, it's automatically free throw points. Because, a lot of times one popular strategy in basketball is to force a turnover by fouling the other team. They'll take shots, but then the other team ends up with the ball. If they miss the foul shots, it creates a turnover type of scenario. So we try to penalize those teams that are trying to intentionally foul in the last couple minutes by not only giving the foul shots, but the team that originally had possession of the ball retains that, so that the other team can't force a turnover in the last couple minutes. So I think there's several examples that Kent County Parks and Recreation adapts and changes the rules of some sports to try to increase the playability of the game, to increase safety, and promote fair play.
Yeah. And I think even too, I know for our lacrosse league, instead of after you score a goal, instead of having to do a face off right away, they just pick the ball out of the goal, and goalie starts the ball off, and we just keep on going. So like how they're doing it, just trying to keep the game moving. You don't want too many stoppage, and just making the game a lot longer than it really has to be.
Yep. Well, I don't want to take up too much time because I talk about soccer a lot. But one new thing that we're trying to incorporate in the soccer world here is growing the knowledge of futsal, which is mostly played indoors, but it's huge on skill development, and it's also very big on as little physical contact as possible. So there's not going to be too much shoving or dangerous play, people throwing, their body into another person. So that's just one way that we're trying to change the style of soccer that we play here in our youth, our high school, and our adult leagues.
On deck with Parks and Rec.
So let's take a look at some upcoming programs. So we have a few new programs that we are introducing this spring, like our Parent and Child Mini Golf League that will be at the Tres Sorella Dulce Ice Cream Shop, which is, I believe, my three sweet sisters mini golf and putt putt.
You're right.
Say that 5 times fast.
That. You're right, Caitlin, and that actually is a program that I brought for our last programmer's pick that helped me win the draft.
Oh, good
forgot
job,
about that.
Caitlin. You made him win.
He won last week.
I don't know about that.
This is a new week. Alrighty. So to register for any of these programs or to find some new programs that we got going on, you can check us out online at
www.co.kent.de.us/parks-recreation.aspx.
Well, thank you for spending your time with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, then we hope you check us out on our next episode 2 weeks from now. We will bring you a March craziness-themed discussion. We will bring you a new Angel's Answer. We will talk about what's on deck for Parks and Rec. And, of course, we're going to give you another National Day for the day. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Check you later.
All right, bye.